I'm actually going to talk about this because I think it's extremely important, because I do help line cooks and chefs grow if they are new or if they are looking to get into better positions. So I had probably the worst night that I have had in a really fucking long time. So for those of you that aren't aware, I'm a sous chef. I kind of double as the sous chef for residential dining for higher education and the catering chef. And we had a catering for the board of trustees tonight, and by my standards, I really fucked it up. And they were happy. The board of trustees are happy. But I want to kind of go into details about like the things that went wrong and how easily they could have been avoided had I just been paying more attention. So they had a bacon wrapped pork loin prepped the night before, a butternut squash soup, which I prepped it mostly the night before, finished it today. They had a mushroom risotto, which I did the day of, obviously. Mushroom cream sauce, which me and the exec were kind of tag teaming, so he did the cream sauce, and the broccolini. And we're coasting, right? We are doing fucking phenomenal. Ratatouille's in, that's the vegetarian option. Ratatouille's in, spaghetti's done, everything's perfect, everything's amazing, except one thing. The broccolini was flashed. The broccolini was flashed on the, just quick saute on the flat top. We decided we didn't want any more color on it, but we still wanted it to keep a nice green, so we decided to just blanch it in the steamer just for a little bit to kind of help it along a little bit, but not too much, because it's also going to sit in the warmer. So it was just supposed to go in the steamer, boom, bam, done. Everything's good to go, right? This is an off-site catering, so normally there's caterings that happen within the building. There's ballrooms upstairs and stuff like that, and then there are places across the different areas within where I work where you go and do these caterings. So this one we had to carry, not literally carry, but we had to take things on a cart. So if you don't have it on the cart, you have to make trips back, and trips back means more steps, more wasted time, more wasted effort, and you potentially could stall out the catering, and the plating and everything has to go a certain way. They sit down, they say a prayer, they have their soup, they talk for a little bit, they get their entree, they get their dessert, bing bam, go home. Great night, right? This is a plated event. So we got everything done, and there was something that that we got distracted by. And I can't exactly remember what it was, but one of us got pulled off to deal with something, I think with residential. And that one thing fucked up everything. Fucked everything up. Because getting pulled off meant we forgot to take the broccolini. I forgot to take the broccolini out of the steamer. That was all the broccolini we had. So we had this disgusting, mushy, fucked up broccolini. So we actually had to send the residential dining hall manager to Aldi to go pick up broccolini. And in the meantime, we decided that we would blanch off some broccoli because the show must go on. Even if we are serving kind of the wrong thing, we at least have to have something on the plate. We can't just serve it and be like, sorry, we didn't have broccolini, our bad, here you go. I mean, that is like permanent reputation damage. At least with broccoli, it's like, oh, you could understand a little bit more with that. So I cranked the oven up to like 500 degrees, put the broccoli in there for like 3.5, 4 minutes, a little bit of olive oil, salt and pepper. It was great. I mean, that was all just fine. But because of that, I got pulled off of doing the other things I normally do to set up for the catering. So what I would normally do is I would look at the list, I would go down the BEO, that's the banquet event order, and it has everything on there that you're supposed to do, everything that you need, all the desserts and everything. So when I get done cooking, I usually have a period of time before they come pick up the food or before I have to be on site where I can go down the list. And I go down the list and I go, okay, do I have everything? Yes. Okay, what kind of utensils do I need? Well, I'm going to need some kind of scoop for the risotto. I might grab tongs for the broccolini, but I could also grab gloves. I'm going to need some dry towels, and I'm going to need a sandy bucket that I wrap in sanitizer. I'll probably need some plastic wrap and maybe something to put trash in, like an extra pan, and this, that, and the other thing. A spoon here, you know, some whatever there. And then I also go, okay, so what's going on with the dessert? Well, the baker normally handles the dessert, except in this case, there's ice cream. The baker won't be there, which means we have to physically put the ice cream onto the baked dessert, right? So it all goes on site. After they're done with their soup, after they're done with their entree, they're ready for dessert. And there's dietary restrictions. So you had 2 gluten-free and you had 1 dairy-free. That is super simple. You have a dairy-free, there's no caramel sauce and coconut-based ice cream, and that's it. You're good. You're golden. The gluten-free are specialty desserts. It was like kind of like a streusel or whatever, so it's just omits the streusel, omits the crust on the bottom, and everything else is plated the same. So first off, for some reason, my soup decided it was going to start looking green. Maybe it was just my own personal taste on it. It's butternut squash soup. It's not supposed to look green, in case you didn't know. I think I might have added too much, you know, like spices and stuff to it, and that maybe that brown, like maybe I overcooked the squash a little bit. Like I did something that caused it to almost, I don't think it was literally green, but it didn't look right. You know what I'm saying? Like it didn't look appetizing. And so I was like, I'm going to steam off. I'm going to cut up a bunch of extra butternut squash, and I'm just going to steam it just enough to where it gets soft enough that I can blend it. I'm going to add a little bit of heavy cream, a little bit of extra salt, and we're going to be golden, right? So I'm doing the broccoli and I'm doing the squash. Well, while I'm doing those 2 things, guess what I'm not doing? I'm not looking over the BEO. So I get done with all that stuff, and I'm in a rush now because the event's going to be starting soon. Oh, also, I had to go there earlier because I also had to plate up 80 shrimp cocktail with, you know, it was like lemon zest and parsley and stuff like that. And I had to plate them on site because we were worried about traveling, rattling things and getting things messed up. We actually had to throw some of our other hors d'oeuvres away because they rattled. So we didn't want to have that happen again. So I already went there once to plate the appetizer. And then when I came back, that's when I'm doing all of this other extra shit. So I get done. I'm in a rush so I can just get there and make it on time. The executive chef stays behind because the residential dining person is coming back with the broccolini. So what he's going to do is, while I'm doing the rest of the setup, he's going to go ahead and recook the broccolini, and then he's going to run it up there, and then we're going to be good. We can breathe. We can just get everything done. Well, that's wrong. So I get done doing that. I'm doing the setup. He comes up with the broccolini because I didn't check over the BEO. I don't have any of the utensils. I don't have any gloves. I don't have a ladle for the sauce. I don't have a scoop for the risotto. I don't have towels. I don't have sandy water. I don't have a fucking thing. And we're close to where we need to do plate up. So the exec, now coming up there, he's ladling bowls of butternut squash soup. I am running as fast as I fucking can, a quarter mile back to the dining hall to grab all of the shit I need. I need to grab my knife bag. I need a cutting board, all of the other shit that I've talked about that I need. So I get there, I grab all that, I have all of this shit, and I'm fucking running my ass off. My thermometer falls out of my pocket on the way over there. It was a fucking nightmare already. But okay, we have everything we need. We can cut the bacon wrapped pork tenderloin. We're good to go. We still have like 5 minutes before we were actually supposed to be plating. So we at least made it, right? We made it. Except, okay, we did it. That all worked. That happened. The entree was fine. We get to the dessert. Oh shit, I forgot about the dessert. I've been running around so much. I forgot about everything we needed to do with the dessert because we have to but the ice cream has to stay in the fucking freezer at residential until it's time to plate it up. So essentially what I needed to do was pull the ice cream out to soften up a little bit. Otherwise it's like trying to like scoop fucking concrete. So I'm like in the freezer with a cup of hot water, fucking scooping ice cream by hand, obviously running back now. And it is like time for them to have dessert. Like it is time. Like I should be handing them the desserts at this other place a quarter mile away. Instead, I'm at residential with a fucking ice cream scoop in the freezer with just my chef jacket on, which actually I was running around so much I was okay with that, scooping fucking ice cream. And then I have the GM rightfully frustrated, okay, rightfully pissed off because none of this should have been happening. On the other hand, we did ask somebody to hand scoop a bunch of ice cream and keep it on sheet trays in the freezer, so all we had to do was pluck it off. Well, that looked like shit, so that's why I was redoing it. Anyways, I'm getting those into individual cups so I can just run that down there and pop the cup, put it on the thing, boop-a-doo, 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 and then it's done. So I'm doing all that. I get so frustrated with what I'm doing and everybody's pissed off waiting for everything that I just said, fuck it. I took the ice cream that I had. I took the 5-gallon fucking thing of ice cream with the scoop and I just said, I'm bringing this bitch over there and we're just going to fucking do it over there. So I run all that shit a quarter mile back up to the fucking place and now I'm doing it. Everything is going fine. I'm scooping the ice cream in. The exec's putting the crumble topping on. We're hitting it with some caramel, whatever the fuck. It's a caramel sauce, whatever the fuck. However the fuck you call it. I don't give a shit. The fucking sauce is going on them. They're going out. We need the 2 gluten-free. Okay, not a big deal. Those are labeled. Those are separated. Send the 2 gluten-free out. We need a dairy-free. Okay, that's not a big deal. We could just take one that we already have and omit the sauce and use the coconut-based ice cream. Bloop, boop. There you go. One of the servers comes back. We need 4 dairy-free. We need another gluten-free. We don't have ramekins. We don't have prepared desserts. We don't have any of that shit. Now, to be fair, if it's not on the fucking BEO, it's not my responsibility. You pay for X amount of gluten-free, X amount of dairy-free, blah, 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 blah. I execute it, and your people, if they have a problem with it, need to be pissed off at you, not me. But because I am a good catering chef and I have a lot of experience, what I normally do, and this is something that I probably would have done had that one fucking thing not happened, is I make extra. So, for example, vegetarian, I did do that. I prepped enough for 7 vegetarians. There was only 4 on the list. Guess how many we made? 6. Because there's always more. There's always fucking more people that don't talk about their fucking dietary restrictions until the day of. So I go out of my way to make sure they're happy because I want them to be happy because I love my job and I want my guests to be happy. I want them to have a great experience and it's not necessarily their fault. Maybe they thought they couldn't join and they could, or they told the lady and the lady didn't put it on the thing, or whatever the fuck is the case. It's not necessarily their fault, right? So I make extra. Well, I didn't make extra desserts because I'm not a baker. I'm not in charge of the baked desserts. So I am like hand washing like 4 ramekins on the fly for dessert to try and get it out. And the GM looks like he is going to detonate in front of me. He is so pissed off. And I think that he was more frustrated at the overall, like, everything going on. But, like, I feel in my heart of hearts, I am the problem. I was the fucking problem. If I would have just paid an extra 30 seconds of attention to the broccolini, that would have saved me 45 minutes of fucking headache. But I didn't. I didn't. I fucked up. I fucked up bad. And that's why it's so important that you have to be on your shit. If you are a new line cook, a new chef, you want to be in the business, you have to be on your shit. Because little tiny things like that, 30 extra seconds on the broccolini, or, is probably 4 extra minutes in the steamer or some shit. completely snowballed into a goddamn disaster. And, you know, if you're on the line, if you're working as a line cook, because I worked as a line cook for years and years and years and years and years, grave cook, and then later at a pretty nice restaurant. But the same kind of thing happens. If you're not on your shit and you get a certain amount of dishes brought back, especially if they take a long time to prepare, and you now have to pull other cooks off of that to redo the food that got fucked up, they're not cooking the food they're supposed to be cooking. And then if more tickets come by, you end up in a situation where you have like 1 hour ticket times, right? The same kind of thing can happen on the cook line, catering chef, all of that kind of stuff. So, you know, I learned a lot from my fuck up, things that I absolutely have to be on the ball on. At the end of the day, we figured it out. Everybody got their desserts that had some kind of either allergen restriction or preference. Everybody that needed to be fed was fed. Everybody was fed on time. Everybody liked the food. As far as they know, it was a fucking smashing success, right? But they don't know what I fucking did. They don't need to know. It's literally my job to make sure that they don't think that I'm having a hard time, right? But I'm telling y'all because this is the other thing that I do, that I get paid a little bit of money to help you guys grow. So I just wanted to get that out there. Have you had a bad experience? Have you fucked something up? And if so, what was the lesson that you learned? Let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, my break is over. I did this I literally just did this whole fucking thing. It's 17, I'm reading 17 minutes right here. In the time it took me to walk from where I was to the car, all of that stuff I told you happened, whatever, 24 minutes ago. So this is my break. So I hope you guys have an amazing day. I'm gonna probably scroll TikTok for 10 minutes and then go back in and finish my closing duties. Bye.